Exercise 2. A. Complete the sentences below on a scene from a football match. You may use the helping words in the box. The helping words are concentration, sword, advanced, screams, fraud, direction, cheered, chants, narrowed, land, whistles, failed, opportunity, critical moment, cartwheels, excitement. The ball was stationed under the foot of the goalkeeper. He looked across the field to see the other players getting ready to receive the ball from him. The way he looked showed how deep his concentration was. His brow was furrowed, and he seemed oblivious to the chanting from the spectators. He took a few steps back with a final decision. He gave the ball a hard kick. The ball soared into the air. The players on the field started at the ball expectantly. A player from the blue team jumped to intercept the ball as it flew towards him. The spectators roared with excitement. The ball was passed swiftly from one player to another. The blue team had good control over the ball. They pushed on towards the red team's goal post. The ball was then passed to the ace forward. He took aim and kicked as hard as he could. He fell to the ground, waiting for the result. He stared as his powerful kick sent the ball rolling quickly toward the goal post. The defender of the red team had missed the ball. It was now up to the goalkeeper himself. The ball was now up the goalkeeper himself. The blue team scored a goal. They were ecstatic. They celebrated their happiness by jumping and dancing excitedly on the field. B. Sometimes a single word can be used to describe an action. Its use drives the message across just as well as writing it in detail using lengthy sentences. Think of a suitable verb that best describes the situations below. 1. Mr. Johnson was so disillusioned with society that he left to stay in the countryside. He did not want to concern himself with such matters anymore. Mr. Johnson isolated himself from society by staying in the countryside. 2. King Linus and his army stormed onto the island and took possession of it by force. King Linus and his army occupied the island. 3. The family left the jetty and got on the ferry to Palm Island. The family boarded a ferry to go to Palm Island. 4. The badminton game was put off until a week later. The badminton game was postponed until a week later. 5. Daniel ran to and fro between the two trees to release his anger. Daniel shuddered between the two trees to release his anger. 6. The woman was shocked when the beggar ate the big dumpling very quickly. The woman was shocked when the beggar gobbled the big dumpling. 7. He thought carefully and considered all the possibilities over the investment he would carry out next in his mind. He pondered over the investment he would carry out next in his mind. 8. The poor girl sat in a corner. She hugged herself tightly by drawing her legs close to her body. She wrapped her arms around her legs because of the cold. The poor girl sat huddled in a corner because of the cold. 9. Would you like to go with me to the florist to choose a bouquet of flowers for my mother for her birthday? Would you like to accompany me to the florist to choose a bouquet of flowers for my mother for her birthday? 10. Mr. Lawson would take over the position held by Mr. Benson from tomorrow onwards. Mr. Benson would be replaced by Mr. Lawson from tomorrow onwards. C. Describe the action taken by a person in a certain mood by completing the sentences. 1. Sandy feels so sad that she sobs under her favorite tree. She closes her eyes and leans against the tree trunk. She wipes her tears away using her sleeves. 2. Chris is so angry that he stamps his feet and yells at the top of his voice. His eyes are wide and his face is red with deep anger. 3. When Alice saw an ugly mask at her bedside window just now, she jumped up in fright. Her face turned pale. 4. Mother was clearly quite happy as she hummed her favorite tune. Then she picked up the cloth and continued with her cleaning. 5. Lois was in a dilemma about how to make up with his friend after the call that he paced about in the room. He was trying hard to think of what to say to his friend. D. Observe the people around you going about their daily lives. Write 3 or more sentences about the actions they take in a situation. For example, a worker walking towards the lift with a television set. The worker walks with steady steps slowly to the lift. He balances the television set on his shoulder with his hands. He walks sideways into the lift. Here, the picture shows a baby just learning to walk with his mother beside him. The baby lifts himself unsteadily. He walks jerkily, but quickly. His arms are outstretched. 2. You can see a lady buying vegetables. A middle aged lady shopping for vegetables and bargaining at the market. The lady points at the fruits as she asks for the price. She frowns when she hears how much they cost. 3. A boy rushing down the escalator trying to catch the train at the train station. The boy dashes towards the train. His arms swing back and forth as he pushes himself to run faster. 4. Mother cooking in the kitchen. Mother expertly tosses the vegetables with the spatula. She smiles in satisfaction as her vegetables turn a darker green. 5. A busy stall keeper cooking noodles at a hawker center. The stall keeper pulls out a handful of uncooked noodles from the packet. He tosses it into the boiling water. After draining the water, he puts the noodles onto a plate. 6. A sales girl trying to persuade an old lady to buy a new brand of tea. She holds up the packet of tea and says in her loudest voice the benefits of drinking the tea. The old lady smiles at her. 7. A little boy irritated by the smell of fried pepper. He rubs his eyes. Then he begins to cough. He bends over, coughing non-stop as the smoke surrounds him. 8. The posture of an old lady walking up the stairs in public. The old lady grips onto the handrail. She bends over, her shoulders heaving. She looks like she is about to collapse. E. Describe in at least 2 sentences or more the response and reactions of each animal when placed in a given situation. Use your imagination. 1. When the host came back, the puppy jumped up excitedly. It wagged its tail and began yelping continuously. 2. When the kitten saw a rat in a park, it gave quick chase. It ran noiselessly and swiftly towards its prey and attacked on it. 3. When the monkey saw a tourist throwing a banana at it, it swung toward to grab it. Using its tail to grip a branch, it caught the banana easily. 4. When the dolphin received the signal from its trainer, it leapt out of the water and into the air. It somersaulted in mid-air and dived into the water. 5. When the elephants noticed the diminishing supply of water in the pond, one of the elephants turned towards the baby elephant next to it. It anxiously swung its trunk at it, forcing the baby elephant to drink water. F. It is that time of the year again, whereby your school is holding a sports meet. Imagine you are selected to do a write up for your school's newsletter on the event. Give a detailed account of at least 200 words about the day's events. Give your composition a suitable title. Helpful hints to get you started. Describe the atmosphere of the place where the sports meet is held. Describe in detail the activities of the participants before the game. Describe how some participants warm up themselves. Describe what the participants do when the game begins. Describe how the sports meet progresses from one activity to the next. Describe the end and the behavior of the audience during the sports meet. Sports Meet 2021. It was early in the morning. Students were rushing about in excitement. There were different activities as teachers were busy to set up a table with the prizes. The students' leaders ran about ensuring that all the participants were ready. The participants were preparing themselves for the sports. The parents arrived at 9 a.m. When they were seated, the principal gave a short speech. After the speech, the whistle was blown. The participants sprang into action, running as fast as their legs could carry them. However, running on the grass was different from running on a track. There were hidden obstacles among the grass, and some of the students stumbled while making their way to the finishing line. Each event was full of excitement and thrill. There was hardly a pause between the events. By the end of the sports meet, winners were awarded with trophy and medals. Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, please share and like.